This instructor has an average heart and lungs and would never win a road race. He does, however, podium finish in wilderness races, holds the current national Masters 400 meter record, and is working toward a national 100 meter hurdle time. This Pilates for Athletes workout is fun and is packed with teaching moments that will improve your sporting and movement skills. Take notes, learn, enjoy. Yeah, so what would that look like? Something like that. Yeah, the arm was working a yo-yo, the rest of the body's going up and down with it. Down, curl the toes in, wriggle your toes at the top. Okay, we'll get on to the next bit. It'll be 10 seconds just, and then we'll do a bit more, whatever. We'll just, a little bit more here. So when we stand on one leg, heel off the ground, we'll do like 10 seconds, and then we'll get moving a bit. And when I say move on to the next, you can, but not before. Okay, let's move. Heel off the ground, and it's just there you are, 10 seconds. So this is so powerful. It's just so good, and you wouldn't think it was, but it is. So we're ready to come up just for 5, up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can lower back down, and just points of the compass, like all the front of the foot, all the balls of toes. You can take your time and just savor that, yeah? Did I get them all down and the foot nicely squared off so all the balls of toes are there? And you can just conform all the toes in there just in case there's one's a little bit light, get it down. All right, so in another 5 seconds, we'll just quickly swap over and get our money's worth. Over we go. Heel off the ground. This is like that, you could put hands on the kitchen bench and you read your newspaper or whatever, your Southland Express or whatever. And we can come up high, 5, 4, come up higher, 3, 2, 1, and just down and do your points of the compass. You see, I take time to make sure that all those balls of toes are conforming to the carpet. Right? So it's not just a touch, it's a pause to really feel like I've got a very good but a very gentle grip on the ground. How are we doing? Good. So now for the picket fence, we'll just use the footstool today. Bottom back, knees slightly bent. Get your weight such that you can actually keep the body very still. And to really force you to keep it really still, you do an air touch, like there's a centimetre between the foot and the ground. If I take my shoe off, you might take me some sock off, you might see. So this moving leg, the working leg, doesn't quite touch the ground. It's like a hovercraft. Can I do this? Right. There. It's not even touching. Yeah, and if you can do that, it's not so easy. Yeah, we're just about there, and the rest of the body's really still. That's the thing, is that if you can keep the rest of the body really still, so it's picket fence, it's the ice skater version. Bottom back, knees slightly bent. There we go. All right, I'm doing the air version, centimetre above the ground. Centimetre above the ground. And there's all sorts of ways to develop your buttock and side hips, all right, and buttock and side hip muscles. But this is really your quad muscles. And you get ankle work as well, like you've got everything there. And this checking in, beautiful, nice and still. So now you can do your netball like you can stand on one leg and tussle with the best. Now it's like you're calm in the eye of the storm. Got to be good for you. So we've got the stepping forward over the fence. Now, you've got the idea to keep the body really still, bottom back, knees bent. But now you're allowed to just gentle touch, feather touch. I'm just going to give us 15 seconds on one side, 15 on the other. Yeah. Yeah. Try and get the whole foot down. And now we can switch over. Taking a little breather here, we switch over. At the bottom to the wall behind, knees slightly bent. See, that static hold on the non-moving side, you're never going to hurt a joint when you've got the supporting side, ankles, toes, knees, joints, all through that side of the body, not moving. But they'll get very strong. The muscles will get strong, and nothing beats strength to look after a joint. All right, so for the next one, we're going to head for the chair. We'll get some of the strength work out of the way. Split squat. So the chair, split squat. And we're just using a chair back. So I'd like for you to think about all body parts going up and down, like a yo-yo. The weight's towards the back, so down and up. And we might do 5. You can have your hand in there too, if you like. Up, down, up, down. I'm seeing some nice knee alignment, knees coming forward over center of foots and all that sort of thing. Pretty much. And I'll share some ideas about that. We've probably done about 7 now. We can switch over, I think. Chair side, leg back. And so if we think about like a yo-yo, so you try and keep the weight towards the back. And think about yo-yos and you won't be thinking about the pain, right? Because have you ever seen a yo-yo fanatic looking really painful about the way they're moving? Maybe they would have been done for 24 hours. But, if you're feeling really good, you can take 2 hands off and do 2 yo-yos. Just 2 more. So we'll reverse chair sit and pretend we're going horse riding. And first, we're the lord of the manor. You might just squeeze in a little bit of a trapezius stretch. So that's 1, 2, 3, neck. Well, that corner, ribs lift, back corner, neck lift. Pull the base of the skull forward. And then we could come up again. And the ribs under the fingers, just a lift, back corner, neck, head, lift to the wall in front. And then you just work out, if you send your elbows wide, you'll work out how you can put distance between your shoulder blade and the back of your skull. And when you're there, you can, that's right, it's just nice to put forearms on the chair back. If you've got a nice chair, and you can put your fingers in there. Yeah, that's right. At this point, I tend to take my arm right over. So I've got the elbow in the middle of the chair back, and I'm looking down at my elbow and go, oh, where's those rocks? Have you found your rocks? Upper trapezius rock syndrome. I read it in a physio book. Yeah. No, no. No, I didn't really read a physio book that had heading upper trapezius rocks in your muscles syndrome. No, I better stop at that, get too silly. So is that quite nice that it feel like rocks and you feel like eventually they will soften? If it does feel like rocks, they will soften eventually. No, you don't have rocks in your muscles. No, if you don't, you don't. It's probably a good thing. So you work out, just let your knees energize a little bit wide as you push to your heels. And there we can just have the feet up. And you're stretching up like a jockey after a race, stretching up. And then you just sit nice and tall. And then we'll do 2 more, and then I'd like to share with you putting a pot in the cupboard. Well, just one more. Just one more. Just one more. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So putting a pot in the cupboard, let's just assume that's like holding the handle of a pot and putting it in the cupboard. So it might look something like this. The cupboard door's already open. And so you just put it on the shelf, and it's about there. And you come back. Are you allowed to put a hand just on your knee? And you place it in nice and delicate. Good. Yeah. Place. And just let's see how that's going. So pot in the cupboard, we've got some beautiful squats happening. We know that the knees are going forward over about the center of the foot, or are they? You're just checking in there. So you've got that little bit of, like, it's not knock-kneed anyway. It's not like that. It's like, yeah, even a little bit wide. Yeah. Good. Okay, so supposing we want to put the pot in the cupboard, bend the knee and put it over in the cupboard to the right, and you feel you're pressing into, and if you look down, the knee's looking over about the fourth toe or something. And place, and come back, and pot in the cupboard, and back. You know, I think we've got it. And hopefully that's good for you too, Paul, that we're getting this. See, there's a certain you feel the strength. And if you check, like, this hip's dropping and the belt line and the spine about at right angles, and the knee is aligned too, it's going over about the fourth toe. And you will be pushing through the front of your foot. And you will be placing with a nice straight spine, more or less straight. And you're getting some wonderful, are your quads tired yet? And you've got your butt muscle working, your quads working, your kneecap syndrome, pain syndrome, everything's going to switch on. There's glute switches on, the painful knee muscle, this is the dead muscle in the painful knee that switches off. Everything should be working. Shall we try the other side? It was looking really nice, all right, knee goes over the foot into the cupboard. And if we do that enough, and probably don't have to, but if you did check, is the glute firing up? Yeah, it's firming up. Is that muscle here firm? Yeah, it's working. Because there's nothing we can consciously do to make that muscle work harder. But we can turn it off by giving ourselves a painful knee. If you've got a painful knee, that muscle stops working. So as long as we can do this and there's no knee pain, you got your glute firing up, you got your teardrop muscle by your knee firing up, sweet. At least that's a few injuries you're not going to get. So how are we doing? Yeah. And if you're thinking about pushing through your front of the foot, and you might be thinking about pushing through the big toe side. We're just checking in if we'd put a pot in the cupboard. This is this way. You can try a few. See, it looks like that. Did you notice my hip dropped on the bent knee side? And you might bend the knee and pot in the cupboard. Now, what I want to, in any of those positions, your glute muscle is beginning to fire, even without thinking about it. And it's really firing up here. Now, the knee should be facing over fourth toe or something. And this teardrop muscle here is working. And so all the right things are happening. I've got one more really nifty exercise. Now, how do we do this? Right, put it on right angles. Put your heel by the still, and just see if you can, lower yourself a little in the bottom to the wall behind you. Just see if you can, see this is opening the fence. You could have your arm moving as well, you don't have to, but get the idea. So that's opening, closing a fence. Like, you don't have to have your arm moving, but you keep your hips pretty still. And if you can do the arm action as well, that's pretty neat, but that's just icing on the cake. Yeah. The thing we want is this thigh bone. That's the main thing. It really goes up. And back. And so let's just come to the other side. Just take a little pause and I'll show you. Perhaps there's something else, a little bit of something we can do. I'm just going to face this way. And that arm is telling that leg to open the gate and just swing it back. Push the gate open, push it back. So it really is like you're pushing the gate open, push the gate open. And when that's really what I want. I want you to be working that butt muscle to screw that thigh bone around, open the gate. Right, come back, twist around. So if you have a little tattoo on the front of your thigh, it's looking forward, it's looking to the side, right? And then it's looking forward, and then it's looking to the side. So you're really screwing that thigh bone around. Perhaps yeah, okay. We'll stop at that. I might come back to the end for a second or two. Congratulations, you just worked through the cure for hip arthritis and the kneecap pain syndrome. Well done. Right, I'm just going to say, and you'll be, and then I'll do 5 seconds more of this, and then whatever I said, you're moving on to the next one. Well, this is rocking back, toes back. You feel a stretch in front of your ankles. Keep your small of your back low. Might feel like your tummy's hanging down, but just keep your small of your back low. How are we doing that? Yes, that's good. Bent knee push-up with heels pushing together. We just walk forward. I'm going to suggest do 2 all the way. Push the heels together and come back. We'll do a total of 4 times 2. Forehead touches. Push the heels together. Push the heels together. Yep. Yep. And touch. The forehead in. Touch. Push the heels. That's your lower tummy and pelvic floor exercise when you push the heels together. Modified Pilates 100. So curl your tailbone up and press your small of the back to the mat. And now it's just a hand to the head and a push on the knee. Push on the knee. 1, 2, 3, and switch. 2, 2, 2, and switch. Push it back into the mat. And 4, 4, 4, and 5, 5, 5. And we'll make it 6 on each knee. 6, 6, 6, and switch over. Other knee. Your back's in the mat. Your tailbone's up. 1, 1, 1. 2, 2, 2, and you keep that tailbone upright. 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, just keep it going. And now hang a leg out and make a circle. All right, back to where that leg is. Now, just cueing in, just making sure you've got the opposite hip rolled down, and round we go. You can put your hands behind your head, but you're working on the opposite hip down. When you know you've got opposite hip down, okay, you can move the leg around. So it's that little pause and brace and opposite hip pushing down. That's for bomb-proof lower backs. Now just take it the other way. And opposite hip down. And leg wide, opposite hip down. And you got to pause there. And checking the other. Don't complete the circle till you know don't start the circle until you know you've got that hip stable and the legs hanging it. All right, just switch legs, try the other side. Hanging out. Other hip down. Round we go. All right, have I got the hip down? Have you? Okay, round we go. So you've got both bones at the back of the hips there, down. You haven't got one blocking up off there. You've got spirit level across your hips. But more important, you can feel the bones in the back of the hips. All right, we'll switch directions and see what we've got. Opposite hip down. I'm a bit late, sorry. Can you bring it up? Yeah. And this is where you're thinking, you can have your knee slightly bent. Can you keep that opposite hip down when I release? And then you make a circle and come around again. Okay, and can you keep that opposite hip down? You can, but I'm just asking you to make the pause. And I'm a glutton for giving people punishment. Sometimes people just want to keep that circle going. I don't blame them. Okay, so I'm just going to go into hug a knee and just get the full circle. This single leg stretch with big circles, toes, ankles, and knees really curving. And I'm just going to get the hand going as well. Okay. And switching over. And I think we're in gear there. We can just get the full toes, wrists, ankles, and knees, and all. Everything's going. Okay, just keep it going. You got it. And pull the knee in, because there's a good stretch to be had there. All right, I'm going to show you what I call a starting block stretch. Here it is. Got two hands and a foot. And you lower your chest such that your shoulder goes below your knee if you can. Oh, not quite there. Yes. And now you're feeling the muscle, just the inside leg muscle at the back there is getting a workout. Is that the muscle you felt when you were hugging your knee up to your armpit? You might feel it a bit more now. You didn't feel it before, you're feeling it now. All right, and we can just switch sides. A good stretch is one you haven't done for a while, and you say, oh, I need this. Okay, so we're going to go into the rolling Sir Galahad fly casting. All right, so we've already got that foot forward and the ankle's in front of the knee. Just, yep, good. And so, hand high on the vertical thigh side. So forward, you're looking up at the breast, top of breastbone's lifted. And then you push the front of the foot down, look up, and push the front of the foot down on the way back. And it's slow enough that you can feel a ripple of movement up and down your spine. You can feel, there'll be a little point when you're coming forward, when you feel a stretch in the armpit. And when you go back, there'll be a point when you're pushing the front of the foot in. So we're really valuing the mobility of the ribs. A little bit valuing it anyway. Switch sides. Just show me the rolling Sir Galahad fly casting. I'm just on the other side. All right, there's the foot pushing in. There's the arm going back, so there's a good stretch through the pec muscles and the ribs here. Who's done fly fishing? I said, just get that thing going. How's the front of the feet? Are they pushing in? Yes, I think so. Okay. Yeah, push the front of the foot in. Yeah, good. Okay. A little interlude for well, can you just get a stretch band? A little interlude for a stretch band, quad stretch. You put a sling round your ankle, stretch band sling. If you hold it like that, it looks like the stork carrying the baby, so just keep that configuration in mind as you lie down, stork carrying the baby. And once you're there, it's like the Jolly Swagman's swag. The band's between your shoulder blades and along your spine. And you can pull it up a bit tighter if you like, and then you squeeze your butt, and you send the thigh bone back, and then you come forward. And just checking in, you've got your knee somewhere close to in front of your hip, and you can touch your knees together in front and back, and squeeze your glute muscle, and that will send the thigh bone back, and then lay it down, and take a little breath and the rest, and back, squeeze. Okay, so we're just finding that. Squeeze. And if you're curious, you can always, fingers just at the bottom of the back hip pocket. Yep, that's working. Or maybe not, check it out. Because that is the magic sauce for protecting the hip joint. The ball pulled back in the socket and not riding over the front rim. Someday you might need to know that if your therapist says, well, that ache in front of your hip, that's actually a bit of hip arthritis. And, okay, I must have a lazy glute, must get it going again. All right, so back into the stork carrying the baby, on for the other leg. Okay, so, and then the happy swagman, pull that band up as tight as we want, and knees in front, and just back, and squeeze the glute. Yeah, it's working. Okay, squeeze, and forward. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah, squeeze the glutes. Press that thigh bone behind the body. And the glute will help that. The band will help. Just squeeze the glute. Send the thigh bone back behind the body. And very soon it will be rolling like a ball. Another 5 seconds. All right, rolling like a ball. Show me the shape. Automatically, I think it's like you're sort of pulling your belly button in just to hold that rounded shape. Look at your belly and roll. Look at your belly. So maybe the belly button pulls in just a little to help you. And I'm just going to watch for, maybe do another 2. And we're going to go into dead bug, pull the toes. And it's just how you got a hand for each foot, I hope. And you can pull on one big toe, shake, 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 and the other one, pull, 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 shake, shake, shake. You can move on to your second toes now. Pull one, then the other. And you move on to your third toe. And you might push your heel away at this time and pull on your toe. And it's a glorious pull and jiggle. And here we are, we're straightening out bunion toes and whatever. And I don't know of many fitness classes where we actually do a little bit of toe nurturing. All right, so let's roll up for spine stretch and just make it happen. Oh. And what have we got? Okay. When you're in the horseshoe shape, the back of the spine is lifting between the shoulder blades, so that's your lengthening cue. And your chin might be on your manubrium bone, your upper breastbone. So there's a butterfly swimming version of this. We sit ladylike with a fist between the knees. I call it sitting ladylike. I hope that nobody, the politically correct people, ever talk to me. It's just, just fist width, off we go, cross your wrists. And here we're just looking for the stretch. The shoulder blades might go wide and the spine lifts a little, or the back of the neck lifts a little. Chin on upper breastbone. And then we just walk the hands out. And when we're nice and tall, up and over, across the wrists. Well, in that position, holding onto our feet or shins, we can let the back ribs lift a little, back of the neck lift a little, and we can breathe into the back ribs. I'm going to just ask us to come on up. We can switch the knees over, and again, we've just got that fist width between them. So that's like sitting pretty. And we cross our wrists, and in we go. And we can hold that stretch now. And the breathing, my standard cue, as you'll know, is to breathe in at the peak of the breath, relax your neck, pause and relax your neck. And when you know that you feel that nice feeling of calm in your neck, you breathe out with a relaxed neck. So I'll just say that again. Breathing in, relax the neck, and breathing out. And so I'm just asking you to try, it doesn't have to be a big breath, just breathing in, pause and relax the neck, and breathing out. All right, so I'll just come on up. Now, here's the thing, when you breathe in and pause, the diaphragm's working away, holding the in-breath. So it's actually quite a workout without your diaphragm knowing it. It's holding there, holding the in-breath, and the elastic recoil wants to breathe out on you. So you've got a little diaphragm strengthening happening. You breathe in, your neck's relaxing, but your diaphragm's working. So we'll do one more. So this time I'm going to say, we're there, once you're there. Now the back of the neck lifts a little. So this time for the in-breath, it's just a very quick. You're going to breathe in, relax your neck, breathe out. So the diaphragm doesn't have to spend all that time holding and working on pausing on the top of the in-breath, just breathing in, relax the neck, breathe out, and then it's resting while you're on the out-breath, and breathing in, relax the neck, breathe out. So the breathing will be like in, relax, out, in, relax and out, relax and out. So now we've shortened the pause on the top of the in-breath to just a minimum. So the first style, when you might hold for 4 seconds on the top of the in-breath and pause, your diaphragm's holding and working. This is the more, exercise uses diaphragm. And now we've got more efficiency for your breathing because it's only a little microsecond pause, relax your neck, breathe out. Okay, we'll just go into a long breath. Are we ready? We can have our hands out, palms down. Yes, good. And now just kind of rise up and squeeze your glutes and just check in. We've got buns of steel. Put your hands down to the carpet. Now bring them up and place them together. And now just checking on that got buns of steel. Yeah, you can just curl your fingers on the bottom of that hip pocket. Palms to the carpet. Hands together. And the last time, yeah, they're working good. And palms to the mat and hands together. Come on down and relaxation position. Let's take a break. You can wriggle your shoulders and knees bent here, and wriggle your shoulders and flat to the mat with the shoulder blades. Good. And so for now, we think about we can breathe into the belly and lower ribs and pause for 3 seconds and relaxing the neck and breathe out. That's the pause at the top of the breath for 3 or 4 seconds. And so again, if you work with me, breathing in, opening your throat and relaxing your neck, keep the breath there. Your diaphragm's having to work while you work at relaxing your neck. And breathe out. So now you change over the breathing in your own time. You just breathe in, relax the neck, breathe out. So there's really no pause at the top of the breath. It's just a breathing in, relaxing neck, and breathing out again. And then relax and be still. When you're ready, breathe in, relaxing your neck, breathe out again. So now the diaphragm isn't having to work to hold an in-breath at the top there, but we're emphasizing that breathe in, relax the neck, breathe out again. And that when you emptied your lungs and you're waiting for the next breath, there's your magical calmness. Now, I've just taught you how to breathe as though you look like you're asleep. Just checking in here, you're still awake there. Okay, yes, we got a thumbs up. You're awake there, okay. Well, standard bridging, just curl your tailbone and get your hips up. We'll do the same thing, like palms down to the carpet, push your hips up. Palms touching, like clapping hands. Now, just to check, like the bottom of the hip pocket, you just place your fingers, or, your buns of steel. Palms down to the carpet, push up. Hands there, and just like clapping hands, push them together. And just checking in again, we've got the glutes pinched together, they're really fired up like buns of steel. All right, and they keep going. Yeah, and yes, hands to the ceiling, yes. And just check those glutes, are they firing up? This is when I get the clients to check that, not me, it's just keep it proper. Yeah, so you've got that little touch cue that you're getting in touch with your body just by your hand on the body part. You're getting a little bit more awareness. And the thing about that, if the hip joint's sore, as in, you might have a bit of arthritis. You might be getting old, arthritis. If the hip joint gets sore, that muscle switches off and bang, stability is lost, and it's a downward spiral, and it's a job for the hip surgeons, which is okay because they're incredibly skilled and they do a great job. But so we're preparing for that time. When that muscle switches off because of pain, you want to learn to switch it back on to protect your hip. I'm going to come up and lie on my side. Clam position. But we're not, this is clams. Perhaps we just do clams. You skewer your hip with a stick, keep it still. Let's use a stick, the thumbs, that might be a thumb. All right, a stick, okay. Can you keep it still? So once you've got that, you can keep it still. You can put your hands together like diving in. It'll be knee down, ankle up, and heel touches ankle, knee up. Yeah, just so if you have the face tattooed on your front of your thigh, it's looking down to the floor, and then it's looking up to the ceiling. So I want you to, if I say leg, thigh bone turns in, thigh bone turns out, so that's what's happening. And because thigh bone turns out, the shin just angles down. And because thigh bone turns in, shin bone angles up. So it's a, but the shin has to do it. It's just there along for the ride, really. It can't really do anything else. But it's the thigh bone twisting. If you can put your hand on and just feel, all right, twisting, yeah, I get it. Yeah, okay. Good. And so just to confirm, can we do a quad stretch but lower the knee? And we come up and down, and now the elbow's bent and going to the wall behind. Can you do that? All right. Now, legs straight. Let's make the foot look up to come up. That's the up and down with the foot looking where it's going. So this time you've got a tattoo on the sole of your foot that's looking up and looking down. There's a lot of people who have tattoos now. Are you into the tattoo style? It's all right if you are. It's just not my cup of tea anyway. Yeah. So can you make sure that the pinky toes in there as well? All the toes are just joining in with that mood of looking down and up. And maybe your knees bending a bit to really help you make the whole thing look up and down. Talk about making something hard. I'm taking a break at that. Did we get an achy side hip? Choice. Okay. So let's take a break from that vertical shin. We're into the in thigh lift now. And yeah, the body just leans back. So here we go. We'll do the same thing. Like, how much of that foot can actually look up? Can you bend your knee a bit to help it? Can the toes join in to try and make sure it happens as well? Look down, toes, twist around. Yeah, I think we're really in the mood here. We've really got they're getting that little extra twist. We're working the small stabilizer muscles, or Joseph Pilates say, works the small muscles, and they are little small stabilizer muscles. And if they're working, you've got a feeling more confidence and security and stability. You might not be running up and down mountains, but at least you'll be plodding up and down in a secure manner. Okay? And let's just come into book openings with, you see the knees a bit. See, here's your book, open your book. You send your shoulder down. When the shoulder blade lands, your knees might come apart and they might not, just whatever works for you. And then the elbow down, the hand down, you look towards your hand. And then you might push your feet together and just close the whole thing all in one movement. So we roll around, roll back, and then all the body parts work to close the book. Yeah, so down goes the shoulder blade, down goes the elbow, the wrist, and the fingernails land down. And then we can the body will work out how to close the book. Just everything closes it once. Good, so we've had just memorizing what we've done. Okay, come up to seated. Did you come up like Mr. Wobbly Man? So Mr. Wobbly Man is like, he's always got spine perpendicular to belt line, right? You can just show me Mr. Wobbly Man. Yeah, good, okay. Excellent. Other side. So we just skew the hip, and we just remember that's the clams with the hips not moving. We want the hips not to move. And then we can do our thigh bone, look out and look in. This is thigh bone, turn out, turn in. And so turn out is the face on the thigh looking out to the side. Turn in is the face on the front of the thighs, turning in and looking across the body. And the hips still. Okay, if you know the hips still, can you put your hands like divers up above your head? Oh yeah, that's a little more challenge, but we can do it, nice and still in the hips. Rock and roll. Well, not rock and roll, actually. Ah, dear. And so just up and down, get the foot into the action, and the toes, and the bent knee, and try and make those balls of toes look directly at the floor and then the ceiling. You might have a bit of bent knee and get up there. if I said to you, imagine your life depended on actually having a cup of coffee on the sole of your foot to push it up. Would it work? It might if you had a bit of blue tack. It might be a rather untidy cup of coffee. How much movement can we get into making looking up and down? All right, just one more, just humoring. And we come into the inner thigh lift, and hands behind the head. We'll just make that a little easy. So get a nice, if you can see that, yeah, like looking up, looking down. And maybe you bend your knee a little, so I make that really, like you really could put a cup of coffee on your foot on the way up. Just about could, I think. How are we doing? This is like a real wriggle and jiggle thing. So teacher at school says, stop wriggling and jiggling all over the place, just listen to me. But the kids actually got a lot of mobility and they want to use it. Okay, just checking in. So we've really worked the side stabilizers for the ankles. Congratulations, we've got bomb-proof ankles, knees and hips now. Let's go into the book openings. And so we unfurl, shoulder blade down, elbow down, wrist and fingernails, and then we close the book. Yeah, and your knee may come apart, it may not. It's just, there'll be a right feeling for you. I like to have my knees come forward out of it. I'm just checking in there. Yeah. That's right. And you'll have one foot stacked on the other. Yeah, we've nailed it. That's your book openings. It's the beauty of book openings is you haven't got far to fall, and gravity's on the floors. It's just supporting you. Seated stretch. Well, we'll start with the stretch band windscreen wiper, and yeah, okay. Now, we could have a little bit of foot looking left and right there. Left, right, in that position, and right ceiling. And make sure you get a good hamstring stretch in the vertical, and then across the body you might be. Okay. Imagine you're a fidgeting kid, perhaps, and, oh yeah, okay. And it's surprising how a foot jiggle alters the sensations of the stretches right up the leg. And you can do circles as too if you like, and get your toes working as well. Ooh, it's got to be good for you. Okay, just carry on. Wow, yep, okay. Now, all right, I'm just going to bring us into a stretch band assisted pull the toes. So you just have one hand up the band and the other. See if you can keep your knee straight when you do that. And you might not get there. Holly, this was for you. Sorry. Just play with it, and you probably won't get there, and that's all right. That's your body, and it's fine the way it is. It's okay. So I'm just going to switch over and the other side. So if hamstrings are the length they are, and you might be able to change them a bit, and at least you might not improve the range of motion of your hamstring, but you can at least improve the range of motion over which it's strong and stable, and just like you're not just working with the middle quarter of the movement. If you stretched it out and got comfortable, you're working with the middle 3/4 of movement. That's a whole range of strong and secure movement. You might not got much more flexibility, but you've got more control over a wider range. Ah, boy, that was a lot of talking. All right, do you enjoy the ankle with that? That's nice, opposite hip down. And, oh yeah. And just show me a bit more. And so with all these exercises I'm thinking about, I like to go out tramping, and I get into some very tricky places at times, rocks and logs and whatever. And You know, just having to know you've got the strength over and control over quite a wide range of movement for all the joints, and you know, you're not sort of stumbling and tripping up all the time. It's nice to know. So if I can give you that, I'd love to. But let's just see, can we pull the toe with a straight leg? And it doesn't matter if you can't. We might work on this. If you can't reach your toes, work on the straight leg anyway. So let's just do an air pull, right? Just, yeah, okay. If you can, or that's fine. Okay. For the seated stretches, I'm going to head up to sit in a chair. And first one, you just hug your knee to opposite chest. And yeah, just, yeah, okay. I'm going to suggest a little bit of side neck, 1, 2, 3, so 1 for the ribs, 2 for the neck, 3 for the top of the ear. And that'll lift your manubrium bone at the top of the breastbone. And just getting a little bit of gapping of the side neck joints, that's good. And just carry on that. Oh, there it is, that's all right. Oh, we'll use a ball later. And we can just switch sides and hugging that knee up to the opposite chest. And now I just wonder, is there any body spot, any muscle that needs a bit of a massage at the moment? Ooh. Yeah, most of them. All right, yeah, and a little bit of, yeah, there we go. Same stretch, but a different cue now. If we hug the knee in, you say, we'll hug this knee over, this lower knee goes over as well, but you've got blue tack on your sit bones, you're not letting your hips twist around. So just blue tack on the sit bones, both knees are being pulled over. That should be quite a strong bite in the hip pocket somewhere. Is it? Yeah, and so we can just try the other side. So if your elbow pulls the knee over, the other knee's going over as well. But your sit bones are not sliding on the chair. So just right, knee over, lower knee over, top knee over. Ooh, right. That must be the nuance of stretch I'm not being able to get for a while. Okay. Over goes the lower knee. Yes, that's it. Okay. I'll share with you the mat versions, or the crawler versions. The shape and space was a bent knee in front of the opposite chest. Well, just if you send your body back and cross your legs, you've got a bent knee coming up to the opposite chest. And you can tuck your toes under on the back foot, and there you go. And we just popped on our elbows. Now, we can send the body to the right and try to sink down. We can send the body to the left and try to sink down if it lets us. And coming out, push through an elbow. The leg goes back and crosses over. A bent knee comes up to the opposite chest. You popped on your elbows and hello. Flexibility on my bad side is not good. And then we can let the whole torso drift a little bit to the left and right. And if you're drifting to the left and your left side stretching, that'll get more stretch. Now, I'm just going to come up and that's looking good, yes. Now, which do you prefer? Do you prefer the knee to chest? All fours or on the chair?
This one is the least strange. Yeah.
Great. So all fours, we've gotten the vote for that. I'm just taking that to heart. So great. Yeah, it's gravity assisted. And once you get over the fear factor, if you had any, yeah, I tend to agree. Thank you. That's a good one. All right. Now, this is going to be interesting. We had the starting block stretch. What's that? 2 hands and a foot, if you like. So we're going to go into pigeon pose. Okay, we're going to try. We'll take that foot over and do our best to get the shin down and make a powder pigeon there. I'm a bit on a lean because I'm not quite flexible enough. Yeah, and if you, yeah, that's, at any rate, you're getting a nip in the hip pocket somewhere. And this works out to be, if you know, an IT band. It is stretching a part of the top of the IT band, the back corner, top back corner of it. And just coming out and just, how did you find that? I think we did very well, actually. So you see how this is the way to get into it. At least I've tried other ways, and this seems to be, we're in the starting block stretch, and we just bring that foot across the body. Now, possibly at home there you're saying, oh man. Right, so I just like to put a hand on a foot and try and get that shin down, and the back foot might be just, you know, proud chest, pouter pigeon. Oh man. Quite a lot of strength for your shoulder here. This is how yoga people get strong. They're bracing to hold the stretch. Proud chest. We might breathe in, relax, breathe out. Not a long breath in. I think you can see right here, if we tried that, if you can, breathing in, pause, hold on the in-breath, relax the neck. Yeah, the diaphragm has to work when you're pausing in the top of the in-breath. All right. Well, if you survived that, well done. If we can use some gravity-assisted ball massage. What area would we like? I think it's good just to start with the back hip pocket. So here's a bridge, and we can pop a ball in. Okay, so we can have a bridge with one hip higher, and then pop the ball in on the lower side, and that's perfect. That's really nice. And if I'm just, and you can keep half an eye on me. I've just got a ball under there, and so if I've got the massage side a little bit lower, and that ball's at the top of the hip pocket, and I can roll around, and now it's on the middle of the hip pocket, and a little jiggle, and it's at the bottom of the hip pocket, and roll side to side. Now, anywhere there's a painful knot, you can stop and pause on that, and if you have paused, you can try those two styles of breathing. The old style was breathe in, pause at the peak of the breath, and relax your neck. And the diaphragm's still working, and then you relax, flash, and breathe out. That's the old style. And the new style is you breathing in and relaxing your neck. And when you've got your full in-breath, you breathe out again. In other words, you're missing the pause at the peak of the in-breath, but you're still thinking about relax the neck. And that's sleeping style breathing. All right, so how are we doing with a hip pocket massage? By the way, if you feel the spirit move, you can do some other area of your body. I'm going to just think about side hip massage. If we're in the inner thigh lifter working position, we can pop a ball in. I've got a small one, just somewhere there. And that's coming over to the side a bit more. Ooh, right. So if we had a outer top corner of a jeans hip pocket, that's where I am now. I got my shirt tucked in and it's out the way. Excellent. We've got a little bit of side of knee, or just above the knee going on. That's a good one. In fact, that's the one I might need quite a bit too. So anytime we're massaging here, we're massaging the corners of this thing called an IT band, which is a strap-like band that goes from the side hip down to the side knee. and it's got just approximately on each corner at the bottom, it's got tightnesses, and approximately at the top, it's on each corner, it's got tight muscles. And there's a fifth one that it curves around between the muscles and hits onto the back of the thigh bone as well. So there's 5 sort of attachments that can get really tight and glued. So if we go all the way into the clamshell sideline, and so that the hips are vertical pole to the hips, so it's fine. Yeah, right, okay. And now, that might be, there we go. So that's directly side hip now, and the pole's more or less vertical through the hips. Yeah, good, and we're getting into a little bit of triceps massage and shin bone massage, or shin muscle massage, and we're getting into all sorts of things here. Good. And really, I think what I'm seeing here is we've got some very thoughtful massage going on, and we're just playing with rolling on a ball on the floor. And it's okay if you've got good company. If you're by yourself, you might say, a bit of company, and there's community and suffering, right? Everyone else is suffering as well, so it's not so bad, right? So, yeah. So I've just got that on the inside of the shoulder blade. And so it might go on from there. Well, if you're watching TV or listening to your favorite music, well, why not turn it into a roll on the floor massage session? It's got to be good for you. We're all good. Thanks for being here. There's good work to be had on, I think, especially the shin muscle. That's something else. Oh, yeah. Thank you. That's reminding me. This is really sore here. Okay, enough said. So I'm always looking for inspiration from the clients, because everyone's their own movement specialist, So, and so I'm always looking. Everyone's their own movement specialist. There's no such thing as a movement expert. I just pretend I know more. Lovely to have you along. Last of the term. Thanks for being with us for the term. There'll be the odd email in the next 2 weeks, but we're back for next term in about the 21st of July, or thereabouts. I'll call out now. Thanks, then.